Hello everyone, I am Ashwith HR, Assistant Professor, Department of BWork in Retail and Supply Chain Management, SDM College, Ujire. Today in this session, we will be discussing about trade and types of trade, two concepts from the subject Business Organization and Management, second semester BWork in Retail and Supply Chain Management. To begin with, let us try to understand what is trade. Trade is a basic economic concept involving the buying and selling of goods and services with compensation paid by a buyer to a seller or the exchange of goods or services between parties. Trade can take place within an economy between two producers or consumers, or international trade allows countries to expand markets for both goods and services that otherwise may not have been available to it. So, trade is nothing but exchange of goods and services wherein a buyer will give some compensation to a seller, or both goods and services is been exchanged between two parties. So, trade can be within the boundaries of the country, which is in simple called as internal trade, or trade can be within between two countries, which is called as international trade. When trade happens between two countries, it is called as international trade. Let us now try to understand types of trade. Trade can be classified into home trade and foreign trade, which is also called as international trade. Home trade is further classified as wholesale trade and retail trade. Foreign or international trade can be classified as import, export or entry port trade. Now let us try to understand one by one the meaning of it. So, internal or home or domestic trade can be classified as wholesale trade and retail trade. So, now let us try to understand what is internal trade. Internal trade is also known as home trade. It is conducted within the political and the geographical boundaries of a country. It can be at local level, regional level or national level. Hence, trade carried on among traders of Delhi, Mumbai, etc. is called home trade. Internal trade can be further subdivided into two groups, wholesale trade and the retail trade. So, as I said, it is the business or exchange of goods and services which is happening within the boundaries of the country. It may be between two districts, it may be between two states, but anything and everything which happens within the boundary of the country, that is called as internal trade. So, as I said, internal trade is further divided as wholesale trade and retail trade. So, let us try to understand what is wholesale trade. It involves buying in large quantities from producers or manufacturers and selling in lots to retailers for resale to consumers. The wholesaler is a link between manufacturer and retailer. A wholesaler occupies prominent position since manufacturers as well as retailers both are dependent upon him. Wholesaler act as an intermediary between producers and retailers. So, wholesaler is a link between the manufacturer and the retailer. If a retailer wants any product from a manufacturer, wholesaler is the person who gives that product to him. That is the reason he is called as a link. So, what he does is that he buys in a very bulk quantity from a manufacturer, then he divides those bulk products into smaller lots, then he will make it available to the retailer. That is how a wholesaler works. Retail trade, it involves buying in smaller lots from the wholesaler and selling in very small quantities to the consumers for personal use. The retailer is the last link in the chain of distribution. He establishes a link between wholesaler and consumers. There are different types of retailers, small as well as large. Small scale retailers include hawkers, peddlers, general shops, etc. Wherein in a wholesale trade they buy in a large quantity and they make it available in lots to the retailer. The retailer will buy comparatively smaller quantity from a wholesaler and he divides those products into smaller quantity and he makes it available to the consumers. He is called as a last link of distribution. We all know distribution link starts from a supplier of raw material to manufacturer to a distributor and to a retailer. So, retailer is called a last link of distribution because he is the one who is gonna provide the goods which a consumer needs, which a customer needs. So, retailer can range from any size, maybe a small shop or also a big shop. So, external trade, External trade is also called as a foreign trade. It refers to buying and selling between two or more countries. For example, if Mr. X, who is a trader from Mumbai, sells his goods to Mr. Y, another trade from New York, then this is an example for a foreign trade. External trade can be further divided into three groups: import, export, and intra-import trade. So, external trade is trade or exchange of goods and services between two countries. As I said in the example, the trader from Mumbai can sell goods to the person who is there in New York or any other country in the world. So, when the exchange of goods and services between two countries happen, then that is nothing but external trade. Let us try to understand the types of external trade, which is export trade. When a trader from home country sells his goods to a trader located in another country, it is called as export trade. For example, a trader from India sells his goods to a trader located in China. Export in the sense, for example, if we take India as an example, from India, if somebody sells goods to some other country, then it is called as export. It may be one or two country or more than two country, it doesn't matter, but anything which goes from the country to the other country is called as export. Second type of external trade is import trade. When a trader in home country obtains or purchases goods from a trader located in another country, it is called import trade. For example, a trader from India purchases goods from a trader located in China. It is quite opposite of export trade, wherein some goods is purchased to our country from any other country. Again, the buying country may be one or two, it doesn't matter, or more than two, it doesn't matter. But anything and everything which is bought from different country to our country is called as import trade. And the last one is intra-import trade. When goods are imported from one country and then re-exported after doing some processing, it is called intra-import trade. In brief, it can be also called as re-export of processed imported goods. For example, an Indian trader purchases some raw material or spare parts from Japan, trader then assembles, convert into finished goods and then re-export to an American trader. Here, a item is being purchased from one country, it is being reprocessed or some additional benefits is being added to that particular product, and then if that product is being transferred to some other country, it is nothing but intra-import trade. So these are the three external types of trade we can study here. So this is it. So from this we understood what is trade and also the various types of trade. Thank you so much for your patient listening.